Is it? To cover it up. It's closed. 그래 여기 있다. 여기 있네? 뭐예요? 그래 여기 있네. Everything.
I'm gonna put in here. She's so confused.
Can I put this in her bag? Maybe for her to sniff.
Yeah.
Okay. 우리 너무 안 춥겠어요. 잉어 커피. But you know what? You want some? Which one? This one?
That one.
Hey, that's more. Beautiful. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
No. She keeps feet. There. Okay, at least you find it.
네, 감사합니다.
It smells good.
라떼, 카푸치노.
Cappuccino sauce smells good.
오래? 오래?
People fail to see the time scale of it, right? Maybe.
오래.
ใจเย็นมาใจเย็น
오케이. Good. Bobby girl.
Like nothing stays.
Made in Korea?
No.
The house?
This one.
You're a good girl. You're doing so well.
It's doing a lot. She ate it. Why did it feel so good? Why did it feel... Hey, it's snowing so much. Why? Oh my god, it's so cold.
나간. 김.
Just don't airport like immigration. 잘했어요. Mom's keyboard. 우리 먹을까? 우리 앉아. 우리 앉아. Sit. Sit. 일로 와. 옳지. 나비 두 개 고르네. Sorry? Single fine? 너무 잘하고 있어요. Going to the pet lounge. Dog. 하이파. Ah! There's no one here.
Hours.
Raw.
아이고. 잘하셨어요.
Okay. And then we can go.
Can she eat the peel?
No, cannot digest.
Put her on your side.
And water.
Thank you.
Morgen, sehr geehrte Fluggäste, herzlich willkommen an Bord unserem Airbus A350 im Namen der gesamten Besatzung. Ihr
We are fully
Kapitän.
ready, but we have a so-called slot, a time window for the entry is on time arrival in Frankfurt if there's no further delay. I do hope you feel comfortable on board.
뭐래야?
For deck crew, if your device is damaged, overheats, emits smoke, or gets lost in your seat, please contact the cabin crew immediately.
Laptops und andere
So cute.
Come on, baby, take a leap of faith. We got a love that's worth the